Thank you so much for being here today, and welcome to Grand Rapids Community College and the Raleigh J. Finkelstein Hall. My name is Kathy Mullins, and I am proud to serve as the Vice President for College Advancement and the Executive Director of the GRCC Foundation. Before we begin this morning, I'd like to take a minute to recognize the GRCC Board of Trustees, the GRCC Foundation Board, current and past elected officials who might be in the audience, as well as retired board members and President Emeritus that are here today. If you could raise your hand. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you for your service to GRCC and our community. We would not be who we are if it wasn't for all of you, so thank you for your leadership. I'd also like to acknowledge any donors that are with us today, because today definitely would not be possible without you. So thank you so much for your support and dedication to GRCC. It's now my pleasure to introduce the chairperson of the Grand Rapids Community College Board of Trustees, Mr. Dave Grcc.
So for the mom that's trying to keep the child quiet, I like the yay. Every time I say something, just let her loose, okay? That's all right. That's a good thing. It's a very good thing. So, wow, today's a day for cutting ribbons. I'll give you time. Every time I say a sentence, you just say yay, and we're good, okay? We're good, we're good. So we started this cutting ribbons last week at our Lakeshore campus. I don't ever remember in my career being part of an institution that cut 4 ribbons in one day. What a symbol of the movement here at this college. So as we stand here in front of Raleigh J. Finkelstein Hall, this morning we witness the wonderful intersection where the charm of an old building meets the elegance of a new building. It's in this building where relationships intersect with learning and leadership intersects with service. Changing the name from Maine to Raleigh J. Finkelstein demonstrates a growing list of community leaders who are passionate about this college. For generations to come, the name Raleigh Finkelstein will symbolize commitment to quality higher education. Raleigh, we are so proud to have your name on this building. Your generosity stimulates so many others to give. So on behalf of the Board of Trustees and the students that we serve, I say thanks to you and all of you out there that helped make this possible. So now I invite Dr. Tina Hoxie, Associate Provost and Dean of Student Affairs, to come to the podium.
Good, here, little. Good morning, everyone. I can't tell you what an exciting day this is. For some of you, you may remember when this was a street, and you had to be very careful because it went pretty fast through here. And what we're ribbon cutting today is talking about transformation. Transformation at GRCC for our students. And I'm the lucky one that gets to talk just briefly about what this will mean for our students at GRCC. And I'm pretty passionate about it as well. This is also a very energizing time right now. We're starting our semester next week, so we normally have a buzz here on our campus. Our staff are happy to be back, and just last week we moved into this RJF space that is just absolutely amazing. It's been a dream and it's been a vision over many, many years. Not that we haven't done some things in the building, but this is an entire building transformation on all levels. When you dream and you vision, what you look at is you always compare what other universities and colleges have. I mean, I can't help myself in doing that. And I want that at my campus at GRCC. The other most important part is listening to our students. What do they want? What do they need? What will help them be successful? And we've been doing that year after year as we've done our planning, our master planning, and we've had a lot of ideas to put into place. So one of the pieces that I look at in admissions and bringing students, potential students, and serving our community is one of my roles here that I absolutely enjoy. What draws a student to a college? Well, certainly, it's an excellent, excellent faculty that connect with our students and make a difference with them. But it's also our quality academic programs. It's also what we have here. But one of the things, it's also affordability. I got to mention that, right? I mean, GRCC affordability, and that this is an opportunity like no other. But it is about a campus. Think about the college you attended and what image comes to mind. It's probably a space. It's the people. And one of the things about the campus is about a connection. Where will you hang out? What will you do? That's inside and outside the classroom. And that's what this building has got us to be able to do. It's an opportunity to advance our student experience, and we're all about that for the students. And they're about that. And how do we make that happen for them with the multiple barriers they bring for us, and that we start their education, they stay here, they persist, they finish and go on and do great things in our community. This represents a one-stop. Now, my thoughts and thinking about this, Tina, don't talk too much about the first floor, because that's my space, is the first floor that I'm super excited about. But it is in this one-stop about centralizing and integrating our service together. I can tell you we've wanted to do that for years, and we've thought about it, and we've planned around it. But now where this takes us is our cross-trained staff of specialists will be able to serve students in this spot. Now, I will say that GRCC, there's not just one door at GRCC. Every door is a door for a student, whether it's the Lakeshore campus, whether it's on the 4th floor, the 1st floor, whether it's in our student center, it's everywhere. But here, a lot of business takes place around the important components for a student, how they finance their education through financial aid, their processes, and we can work them through all of that and make that navigation work well for them. We can empower them, and to me, a student is about building their confidence to be a student and complete. And for me, that's what this space is going to do. The second thing, and I would be remiss in mentioning, all the floors, and I hope you get a chance to see them all, it's about teaching and learning. And when you look at every one of these floors, and what students were saying to us is they want these in-between spaces. They want that educational opportunity in the classroom, and they're going to get that out of this, our oldest building that we have on campus. Now, one thing driving in today, I'm thinking, this is like going into a new house, right? Well, this new house we just built or renovated is 210,000 square feet. And so when you think about putting that all together, it took an effort of a lot of people to make that happen and make it happen successfully, just to even listen to all my crazy ideas that I had. So I do say that one of the things that I always like to tell a little story, and I do follow students around from time to time. And last week, I was kind of following students coming in the building just to see what the reaction would be. And so 2 students were coming in, and I was kind of behind, not eavesdropping, but just a little bit. And the student said out loud, "Wow." This is a wow factor for our new students, our returning students, and our students that will come back. We have accomplished the wow factor. And when you look at the furniture, you look at how it's designed, it's done all of that. I want to end with this about transformation. This is just kind of an ad lib of a quote of Jillian Michaels. It's not about being perfect. Instead, it's about the effort. And this is an incredible effort. And our donors that have really put this give us the opportunity of the funding to make this all happen, we are incredibly grateful for everybody else that was a part of it. When you have an effort, it's about how do you implement that effort? And that isn't always easy, and it was done masterfully. But I think the most important thing that this quote talks about, it's about remembering where you started. And we started here for past students, present students, and our future students on how they will serve our community. And those barriers that it'll bring down for students to come here, feel confident, and want to be at GRCC and be a Raider. So thank you so much for everything that everyone's done. On behalf of the students at Grand Rapids Community College, they are wowed by this. And many, many more I'll be following around just to see what they think about it. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Tina. You think she likes this building? It's now my pleasure to introduce you all to Grand Rapids Community College's 10th president, Dr. Bill Pink.
Good morning. Good morning. Okay, I'm a little challenged this morning just because, we're outdoors and I always like to get the feedback when I say good morning and all that good stuff, and so I may struggle hearing you really well. So let me say it one more time because we're outside. Good morning. Good morning. It's a great morning, actually, because we are here to celebrate this morning not only the reopening of a beautiful facility, but also to, in that reopening, celebrate and thank good friends of this institution. Those of you who don't know much about this college, you are on the campus of the oldest community college in the state of Michigan, one of the oldest community colleges in the country. And as someone at a gathering told me last night, one of the best community colleges in the country. I don't think you heard me. They said we were the best community college. You guys gotta wake up. You have to wake up with me today. You gotta wake up. I'll end up preaching. You gotta wake up. I got 4 of these, and I'm happy about all 4, so I'll stay up here. Well, I won't be up here that long. We got to get over to the Applied Technology Center here in a little bit. But I say that because there's so much that is offered with an institution that sits downtown in the city of Grand Rapids. But not only downtown, but sits also several blocks from here at the MTech. But not only there, but also sits miles away from here over in Ottawa County at the Lakeshore campus. There's a lot to be said about an institution that has that kind of reach in the city of Grand Rapids and in West Michigan. Because of the facilities, but more so than facilities, it's because of people. And it's always been because of people at Grand Rapids Junior College, at Grand Rapids Community College. It's always been about people, because that's what makes this institution so great. We celebrate brick and mortar today, and make no mistake, we're very happy about it. But it's the people who come in these doors and who have come in these doors for over 100 years. That is what makes Grand Rapids Community College what it is, and that is what Raider Pride is all about. So today, we get to celebrate. And as I am in such a celebratory fashion, I do want to call and make known and bring to attention my beautiful wife, Lori, is here with us this morning. We today actually celebrate 20 years of being married. If you are as cognizant of anniversaries as I am, you too, on your 20th anniversary, would drag your wife to ribbon cuttings, right? So this morning, what we really have as part of the GRCC family is we get to really see the actual vision of something that was talked about years ago. One of the things that I remember in coming to GRCC 6.5 years ago, one of the things I remember upon coming in these doors and seeing the history of this institution and talking to the people in this community about this institution, I remember very distinctly coming into this building. And I remember coming in and seeing the main building on campus, and I remember thinking that at some point, this building needs to be able to have all of its levels come up to a standard that when students walk in the door, what they see is either at least equal to, and mostly at best, rivals the high school that they came from. That to me was important. Because when people see facilities and the places that they learn, when they see those spaces being at a level that is above what they just walked into, they have a respect for that. And not only do they have a respect for the facility, they have a respect for the people who stand before them and instruct them. And so we embarked upon a project to start raising the funds to bring all levels of this building up to a standard that would truly make all of us proud, students included. Then I met this gentleman, Raleigh Finkelstein. And Kathy Mullins introduced us and told me about Raleigh. And I remember sitting down talking to him. I remember not only spending time with him at his residence, I also remember, Raleigh, that night that we went out to dinner and you and I split a ribeye steak. You remember that, right? And I remember how we talked about not only the work of this institution, but we also talked about what we felt was going to be the future of this institution. And part of that future is us making sure that we provide the best learning spaces for our students. And Raleigh caught that vision as well. And now, on this side of that conversation, on this side of all the construction being done, today we get to celebrate this reopening of what used to be the main building at Grand Rapids Junior College, the main building at Grand Rapids Community College, which is now the Raleigh J. Finkelstein Hall at Grand Rapids Community College. It is because of generous donors and friends and GRCC family members like you, Raleigh, that we are able to do this work at the level we're able to do it. We can't do it without people like you. We're fooling ourselves if we think we can. We can't do it without those who see the vision and those who have the same passion as the folks who teach in these classes. And that passion is to see our community rise. That's the beauty of the community college. The community college is about education, but more so, it is about the community. And the thing that this college has done for over 100 years is raise the community. I'll never forget the words that were said when I was fresh here at GRCC. And I remember Larry Murphy, former GRCC Foundation board member. And I remember how he said, Bill, if it wasn't for GRCC, our community would be compromised. That's a huge statement. And it is because of people like you, Raleigh, who see that vision as well and understand that the thriving of this community college, not the survival, the thriving, because that's what this college has done for a long time. It has thrived. And it is because of people like you, Raleigh, that also see that thriving being so important to this community. It is what brings us to this point. So thank you for that. I'm also hopeful that folks from the contractors who worked on this beautiful facility, Tower Pinkster and the Chrisman Company, I'm hopeful that those partners are here as well. We say thank you to you for an incredible way of seeing the vision of what we were putting forward and putting that vision into reality. If we have folks from Tower Pinkster or the Chrisman Company here, please show your appreciation to them today, ladies and gentlemen. Before I introduce Raleigh, I'll leave you with this. Last night, my wife and I were at a ceremony that was really a commemorating of someone who has passed right here in the city. And as we were standing around talking to friends and family at this gathering, I remember being surrounded by about 4 or 5 really nice friends of ours, their children. And these children, I say children, they are, some of them graduated from college already, a couple are still in college. The conversation was interesting because as we sat and talked to all 4 of these young people, they started talking about GRCC. And they started talking about what this college had actually meant to them. These were folks who were never, as I think about the 4 or 5 of them, I don't think any of them were hardly ever full-time students here. They all came at different semesters. They'd come in and get some classes. They would, in some cases, come for 1 or 2 of our workforce programs. A lot of them came for some of our gen eds. And they talked about what this college did for them in standing in the gap of some of the classes they needed to take. I loved one young man, he talked about the fact that he said, and going to GRCC and then going to, I'm not gonna say which 4-year institution. He said, I went to that 4-year institution, then went back to GRCC and thought, why did I come back to GRCC? It's so much harder here. But he was saying it from a standpoint of the quality of education he was receiving here. He wasn't saying it in a way to say, oh, what a horrible institution. He was actually saying it in a way to say the institution and the education that I received while at that institution was second to none and was the best higher ed experience I had. Didn't surprise me. Because of the GRCC family and the work that happens in these doors. The faculty and staff that show such care for every one of our students. To hear those young men and women talk about what this institution did for them and talk about the fact that it's gotta be, in their words, it's gotta be one of the top 5 community colleges in the country because you guys are awesome. That is about you, friends. That is about the GRCC family that on a daily basis takes good care of the students of this institution. And I maintain that when you take care of the students at GRCC, you take care of the community of Grand Rapids because the students of GRCC are the community of Grand Rapids. And that is why Grand Rapids Community College is truly this community's college. And as I said earlier, we can't do it without people like Raleigh Finkelstein. Raleigh, we're thankful to you. We're grateful for what you have done for this institution, and we get to celebrate that today. Ladies and gentlemen, I introduce to you Raleigh Finkelstein.
Thank you, Dr. Pink, for that kind introduction, and thank you for being such a great leader. Today is such a special day for me. I'm as excited today as I was the day that I saw the 24 letters of my name being hoisted to the top of this building nearly 2 years ago. Grand Rapids is where I was born and raised, and I feel compelled to give back to this great community that has given me so much. My brothers, Mort and Ed, have helped make this day a reality. We had equal shares in MC Sporting Goods and always worked together. Our parents instilled in us the importance of caring for one another. I know that my motivation for giving back to our community is an extension of all that our parents have taught us. My only wish today is that they could have been here to see this amazing facility that carries the Finkelstein name. Randy Zandbergen from Pioneer Construction connected me with Kathy Mullins at GRCC, and for that, I am grateful. After my very first meeting with Kathy, I knew I wanted to be a part of this great college. In the 2 years that I have been connected to GRCC, I have created relationships that have turned into friendships, and in doing so, I love this college more and more every day. Grand Rapids Community College is such a wonderful place and offers so many educational opportunities to our community, and I am so proud to be a part of this great institution. GRCC is a college that's built on academic excellence. The faculty and staff truly care about the students and community they serve. And this renovated facility will allow GRCC to continue the legacy for many more years to come. I am grateful to be a part of this amazing college, and I am proud to have my name on this phenomenal building. Thank you to everyone who has worked on this project. Today is a special day, not just for me, but for all of you. Now, without any further ado, let's go ahead and cut this ribbon so our community can tour this great facility. You did a good job.
See, look at how awesome he is. If we can get the GRCC Board of Trustees, the Foundation Board, President Oliveris, if you'd come up, we're going to go ahead and cut the ribbon.